Hello everyone and welcome back to Fusion Cuisine. Today's meal is Parda Pilav or Parda Pulao. Now the origin of this meal is Turkish, but then it's spread into the Middle East. And the recipe that we're going to use today is actually my mother's. So you can find all the ingredients that you need in the description box below. So we start off by directly putting the meat in a pot and then add some cold water and some salt and then leave it on the fire until it boils for about 2 minutes. And as you're waiting for the meat to boil, we are going to start preparing our dough. Now we do that by mixing a cup of flour and some salt with water, and it's important for the water to be cold. And you want to get yourself a strong dough, so don't add too much water. Now keep kneading for about 5 to 10 minutes and then wrap up the dough and just let it rest in the fridge. Get yourself 3 eggs and boil them, and make sure you add some salt to the water to avoid having broken eggs. Now after the meat boils for 2 minutes, we drain it from the water and then wash it again with cold water. Now in another pot, add some oil and then add in the meat and some salt and let it just fry for a little bit, and then add hot water and let it boil for 40 minutes. Be generous with the water because you'll need it later on when we are preparing the rice and when making soup alongside the meal. Now after the meat is done, take it out. And then in a pot, add some oil and some tomato paste with some salt and just fry them for a little bit and add washed rice and keep frying. Make sure that you're stirring the rice while frying so that the tomato paste reaches every single rice grain. Now after that, add 3.5 cups of the meat water that we saved earlier to the rice and then let it boil until the water and the rice levels are the same. Now lower the heat and cover the pot and just leave it for 17 minutes. On the side, chop up some parsley and then add some oil to a pot, put the meat in and start frying. And after it's well fried, add salt and walnuts in and mix everything up. Then lastly, add the chopped up parsley and turn off the heat and mix it well, and we got ourselves this beautiful mix. Now get the dough out and start flattening it as shown in the video until you have a suitable size and the right thickness. Now don't get too carried away and make the dough thin because you do not want that. Now get a new pot and cover the inside with ghee, especially the sides. And put the dough in carefully and push the sides in to make sure there's no air left. Then add half of the rice in, and then follow it by the meat mix and then the 3 eggs, which you can also fry before adding if you want. And lastly, add the rest of the rice in. Close up the dough and just brush it with some ghee on top to get this beautiful color and a wonderful taste. Now put it straight in the oven for 20 minutes on 200 degrees, and that's it. You got yourself a delicious meal. Now, side note, one thing that we forgot to film is the soup that you make using the rest of the meat water. So just simply add a teaspoon of black pepper, piper Cubeba, and some Cinnamomum to the water. And there you go. Hope you enjoyed this recipe, and if you did, like and subscribe, and see you in the next one.